Alright, back into it. Now it's the fun part, the non-els part. Potentially not fun, but we gotta do it. So, first thing what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change this from, the template to just a basic texture, because I personally don't want to look at this. It's annoying, in my opinion. So I'll just jump back to here, and then I think I already done it, so let's take delete it off my desktop. Nope, there we go. Now it's one color. Same thing as don't like the white, you actually go into the browser here and look for, best way to see what's what is, you click this, it'll actually disable whatever is linked with it. Double click into here. And if I'm not mistaken, it's top color. Could be wrong. Might be wrong on that. Oh, no, I wasn't wrong. Change it to more of a gray color, which I'm going to do because, sometimes the white's a little too blinding. It helps. Make sure you got ambient lights on. I'm just gonna hurry and do these lights fast. Super simple, super easy. I went through and, mapped out what is what with lights and everything. And so, do both tail lights here fast and the headlights. And I'll try to explain it fast. It's super easy on this model because it's all, just, options and stuff like that. First thing I'm gonna do is I'll just reset the twirl, then back to, the center, and then I'm gonna create a copy. And on both of these, I'm just gonna convert to dummies. So it's gonna go like this. Turn the regular ones off. Select both dummies. Go into, the properties up here. And before I do anything, I'm gonna turn pivot off. Delete that on for certain things that totally messes stuff up. Just gonna scale them down by, 0.015. Now make them smaller, easier to, see where you're hiding them and everything like that. You can leave them big. The biggest thing is if you, size them down, you actually see where you're hiding them better. So like if we go back over to the model, you see how they're selected here. Once, if I grab them and slide them in more, then, you can see how small they are, but once they're, still giant, sometimes they poke out and you really don't know where they're at. A little easier to see. That's simple. I'll explain it more on the light bar, but anything facing backwards, it should go into here, rotate, and I'm going to rotate the dummies, not the mesh. Dummies are easier to rotate instead of the mesh, so I'm just going to do this. Rotate it in the top view by 180. It's going to face, backwards from where they're facing. And those are done. I'm just going to double check what sirens I have, and easy enough with this software. It gives you the numbers on the side here of which one it is, so that's how I map it what sirens what. If it doesn't do that, I just recommend just putting 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way down to 32, and then put when you're gonna have what. And as simple as that. They should be. Oh, the headlights. Be just right here since you copied them. Sometimes with copying it, it flips it around for some reason. You just gotta be careful. See which ones go which. I've had that where the dummies, the dummies over here like this is, but the lights over here can have issues and stuff like that. It's more, say, you don't have much space to hide the dummy. if you do this way, then sometimes it'll flash outside the vehicle. Or, when it goes smaller to hide it, it'll be outside the vehicle and you have issues. If that makes any sense. Just gonna take and reset this to parent. It's gonna, drop it to the dummies like you want it. And then I'm just gonna take a copy. Copy it, 3 times. Unselect, reselect, just something I do. And then scale it down by 0.1 within the scale menu. As simple as that's going to throw it down to where the dummy's sitting. So exactly where the dummy's at. That's perfect. Then right back up here within the LOD menu. You're going to LOD, so you're going to unselect LOD, convert to compound, lock, L1. That's going to be the first LOD. Then you go to L2, L3, or L2 now, then L3. Totally spaced L1. Same thing, L0, L1, L2, L3. Those are done. So these two you can drag into the vehicle, and you just want to basically put it in the chassis. You want to make sure it doesn't pop where it's under or with the chassis here, but inside the chassis. And autosave's doing its thing, so we'll wait until it's done. Now we're going to do the headlight hiders. These ones are already set to world. I'm still going to hit it just in case, and then back to its, and then same thing, just copy, convert to dummies, and we're going to select the dummies. Same thing, 0.05. Or 0.015, I mean. And then these ones we don't have to rotate because they're front facing lights. And so the dummies are right where we want them. All I'm do is open back up the vehicle, move my top camera to view these lights, and then view inside the engine bay area. Like that. And just drag it backwards. It's perfect. Now I'm gonna unselect those, and then same thing. I'll just double check to make sure they don't flip flop. Same thing, just copy 4 times. Select the headlights, or the hide away things. And then back up here in properties, we're just gonna 0.1 all the scale factors on these. But before we do that, I'm gonna set it to parent, because I almost forgot to do that, and that would have been bad. Always make sure to reset parent after you move the dummies, or you'll have issues, and you'll have to redo the lights, and it's not fun having to redo. And where the light bar is gonna use like 16 sirens for this one, if you mess them all up, you have to redo the whole light bar, you're gonna be running lights. The same thing as I explained earlier, just LED and everything. And then once these are done, I'll start importing the light bar and start setting that up, which I'll show some tricks with that. How to not mess that up. There. I'm just gonna hit show all. And then I'll go back over here and hold control and drag across just to make sure I don't have anything selected. Because if you hold, your right mouse button, you can actually select stuff, control to unselect stuff. So I'll do that probably every time I do any light bar, any setup. I'll do that just so I don't move on to the next thing and I'm over here copying or dragging around the other lights I already done because it's difficult to see and how small they are. Then you move them and that can cause issues as well. Just gonna hurry and save on my side. And just because it auto saves, it doesn't save to the same file. It saves into a Z modeler, where you place Z modeler, save into that file as an auto save. So I always every so often save because I've had the software crash on me, and I've lost a ton of work that I've had to go back and redo. And it's just really a waste of time to do that when you can just save it every once in a while. Just I'd say right before you do any LOD, save, because it always seems to be the LODs that crash mine. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it's every single time. We are going to go back to my desktop. Here, where all my stuff is, and into the sound off signal file. Now, we're going to want to go into the enforce one, find the model, and hit all, and then merge. This is with any model. If you want to merge two vehicles onto each other, you can. I don't know if it'll work, because if it has the same name, it might not import. Because, you have that, thing. But with light bars and everything like that, hit, select all, merge with this light bar. That's what I'm going to do, because it's going to have, a million different options. Because these light bars have that, the 48-inch and then 54-inch. And then, like, all the, legs options, stuff like that. Just how it is, I am going to find what I want to use and go from there. So what I'll do is actually start with the light bar. So I'm going to have to look at the other things. So this is the all amber version of it, which I do not want, so I'm just going to delete or copy, whatever you call it, it wants you to do. So this is the right one. This has everything I need. So I'm going to take and drag all this up underneath the model, just like that. Then I'll go on to the next thing, which will be all this. And that's what I want those for, so I'll take and drag these two to the top. And then grab these two and take them to the top as well. This is going to turn off for right now. And just back down into the light bar. That should be done. I don't need that anymore. That option I don't need. The wire, we can have the wire wherever it is. That's fine. Windshield, that's fine. And I need all the glass. Now down here, I believe we're just going to do these. We can adjust it if we need to, but I assume it's going to be fine. That should be the light bar done. From the commission I am following, unfortunately, I have to color the top of the light bar, so I'm going to do that. Get that done out of the way. So bear with me while I do that. I'll actually, show off how to, texture things and stuff like that. I've already changed up the texture within Photoshop to have what it needs. I just got to, change it. It's gonna be just on the middle ones that we change. So these ones. And bringing on the perspective is target. Kind of wireframe up here in the options and go from there. Okay. And before I do anything, I actually have to go into here. I have to go into here first. Jump down to this part. I'm pretty sure it's going to be number 2 that we need to change, but I clear on that. So, yep, number 2. So I'm just going to click into this. So I'll open this menu up, click into this, and then I'm hit replace. There I have this on my desktop. There's this one, because I already had to add the white to it. So that's done. You can tell it's, I turn this off and see red, blue. So we have to add the white, so that's what we're going to do. I'll do panel by panel, because I don't want to mess it up and I have to go back and redo it. And then with, when you edit the UV map textures and everything like that, sometimes it has multiple different options, so sometimes you have to unselect your polygon if you do it this way, and reselect it inside the texture, and then you'll be able to move what parts you need around in here while they're still all connected, like so. With that done, that's the first one's done. Just gonna make sure nothing else is selected as I reselect these. And out here after hit UV map, it'll pop it back in. Same thing, is I'm gonna have to unselect everything, reselect everything. Do this, unselect, make sure nothing's selected, and then kick this to full screen. And very carefully grab everything, make sure it lines up perfectly. And that's done. Now down to L2. These ones don't have anything connected with them, so just, gotta hold and drag them. What I'll also do is turn select off in the bottom, and I will just, click on it and drag it over. No, I can select that. It's my life easy on the last one. I would not use it on anything else though, because you could mess some things up. And then with that being done, I'm gonna click put it back to the left view. So here you can change it to UV map, stuff like that. So that I should have showed in the first video, but I'll just show it here. That works. Now with these done, we take and connect it all. So I go back into this view. Depending on what you want to do, you can use this one or user. We go from there. I'll just use this one. And then I'm going to modify attach, make sure everything's unselected. And you just, drag and click. If it's selected, then I've had issues where it just up and deletes itself. I can probably demonstrate right here. So like this, see how it deletes itself? Yeah, I got unselect it, then connect it. Which ain't too hard if you're in this mode. And like that, some of the work's done. That's done. On to next step. I'm probably gonna do the glass next. Dismiss. That's how you uncompound things. You just hit dismiss here. You don't uncompound it all. You just open it all up. I'm just gonna hide it all and select. As I'm just gonna take and connect all this. Just like that. And do this one. Like that. And on to the last one. And these empty dummies you just delete. And the glass is done, so I'm just gonna send it as cyan glass underscore 1. Turn wireframe back off and take a look at it. Put the glass on, it looks a little weird because you don't have anything turned on, but let me turn. There you go. And like the wire, stuff like that. Take misses, wherever I just drag them to. Oh, there we go. You see the missives through it and everything like that, how it's gonna sit, stuff like that. I'm gonna move to working on finishing the light bar fully. So since that's done, okay, not that we need this, I'm just gonna delete it. Compounds both of these and select, and we will go through and select. So let's turn wireframe back on so I can see what I'm touching. So now we have all the light bar stuff connected. All we have is just the mounts and stuff like that. And so all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take this and select these, just like this. And autosave hits us again. So I'll do something to make my life easier. Then I'll select everything, unselect everything. Make sure nothing's, highlighted. We will continue through this beautiful as fast as we can. There's already 27 minutes into a video of just setting up a light bar. Yeah, technically we did the wig wags and stuff like that, so that took some time, but still. Just shows how much work actually goes into the said models, what people do and stuff like that. It's not, some people can, if they don't do LEDs, then it should, they can probably get a whole car in half done in a day. Other people are just, freaking fast as hell at doing them, so I don't understand it. But not fast process and all that. Takes some time to do. Which now, if we jump into a secondary view, I'm just gonna make sure that's all selected, and I'm gonna drag it up above the vehicle so you can see it here. Turn this off so you can still see it. One thing I'll actually do before I actually do that, so I just hit Control Z, that just kicked it back to its, that. I'm actually going to reset the whole light bar to world after selecting it. And the only reason I do that is, I'll show you right now. When you pull the vehicle up onto the top up here, say I need to rotate it to match the roof line so it doesn't, just look flat like how it is now, but the roof tilts a little bit. You can, with the right things, tilt it. Just gonna tilt it weird because I'm sitting at an angle. But like if we went to this angle, then I can tilt it and it'll, look better. But say I reset to world up here, then I rotate it. It's gonna rotate off that axis down here, so it's, I'll have issues. And say, you have multiple different things. So like say the lights, and I'll demonstrate this here fast. So I'm gonna take and find the light bar and the mounts. So those are unselected, but I'm gonna select everything else, and I'm gonna undo what I just did. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna reset to world, but say these ones are still set up here. And then if let me jump to other view so you can see this. If I take and rotate it, you see how it splits, because one thing's on one axis, the other's on the other axis. That's why before I move anything away from the set axis, I try to, if it's sitting right on top of the reset world, like close, I try to reset everything to world that I'm working on. So when I rotate it, I'm not having issues. So let me just froze my thing. And if you do end up freezing your thing, because there's chances you go from one thing to another, it'll freeze for some reason, won't let you do anything, just has issues, just Alt Tab and tab back in, and it'll unfreeze it. So you turn off these dummies because I don't need them on. That's fun, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Probably need to bring these in anyways. They sit, so actually I'm gonna pop it back up because it's probably about perfect. Yes, it's gonna be touching. There's a wind guard in there, and that's what the wind guard's for. So I'm gonna let it touch. I don't care. And if you don't like it, I'll get fine. Come back to about right there. And we'll do the same thing to this side too. I take out the light bar and bring it down just a tad bit, the whole thing. So I'll try and do that. Then again, where it fills it, so just tab. And I'm in this, so I'm gonna do this. Make sure I got everything selected on the light bar. And we're gonna tab down just a tad, which we did. And it looks better. That's perfect. Time to move it. And we will continue on with the next steps of all the funness. And that's going to be these brackets. I'm going to line them up in the mounts and all that. Do both sides. Try and keep them looking the same. They don't look the same. They don't look the same. Also, if you really wanted to mirror it, the only thing is this texture, when you mirror it, will flip backwards for some reason. That's why I'm not doing it here, and the texture here will do the same thing. So you can go in technically, I think you can go into texture unmirror it or something like that, fix it, but I'm not going to have to fight that. I'm just going to do both sides and try to match it, and get as close as I can. And I'll select all, go into this mode, I'm going to unselect everything, then jump to vertices and go there. And then what I'll do is select the body shell only and then doors. And since it's just the front doors, I'm going to select both those, right, find the second one, and go from there. Make sure nothing else is selected. And now what I can do is this. That's going to select all of it on both sides. I just want to do one side at a time, so that's what I'll select. Now go back in and select it again off this view. Pop this on, and we'll get to setting these into place. And I froze my thing again. So if you scroll and go out, that's how it freezes. Just figured that one out. So it has a lot to it, so I'm adjusting a little iffy on it. Just work around it. I'm gonna turn this off so I can see what I'm working with. And what I'm gonna do is turn this on, and I'll take the dark stuff and make it a little lighter so I can see where I'm working, where I'm at, and stuff like that. I'm just gonna work in multiple views. If you hit Z on a view while your mouse is over it, it'll go into that view, which is pretty handy when you're working on things like this. It's pretty good. I'm just gonna take this texture, make sure I don't select anything else, and I'm just gonna put it back closer to the mount. Like that. I'll say this side's done, looks good, and we will jump to the other side and try to match it as best as I can. Probably won't match, but not everything's gonna be perfect in life, unfortunately. Right, make sure it's not clipping too bad, which it's clipping a little bit, but it'll live. People will live. We'll be fine. It's better than not having the brackets. And I know people that don't do brackets, and I think it's, you know, looks terrible if it doesn't have the brackets. Probably back this one out just a little bit. Fix texture. Like that. That'll fix some of the issues, but not all of them, and we'll live. So since I'm done with the brackets, they're where I want them to be, I'm going to, actually confirm LED ones. Looks good, because that's normally where you're going to see it the most. It looks perfect. So now what I'm going to do is go back into, my light bar. I'm just, this under light bar, under orange for light bar. And I'm just going to connect the feet to it. Turn this back off, turn that back on. Now to do it through this tab. Just like that. Those are done. My bar is pretty much in place where I want it. I don't think I need to rotate it. I think it's looks pretty good. We'll double just confirm in this mode. I know it looks weird with this, but it's just LEDs. We just gotta fix LEDs. So reset them. If I want like this. Like that. Then it looks way better. And we'll continue on. I'm starting to set the light bar up, which the next process is probably going to take an hour to do as well, because we have to cut all of these lights out. I gotta change them up white, all amber, side lights do their own thing, steady burns. So, yeah. So let me just finish up the light bar part. So it's all LED because we don't need to move it anymore. Then we're gonna do the glass as well. Alright, now from this, we have some fun to do because this white's gonna be its own siren, these ones are gonna be its own siren, both sides are gonna have its own siren. Inner edge is gonna flash, these ones are gonna be steady, these ones are gonna be white and they're gonna flash. The back is gonna be an all amber stick, so you know, NDLS, back and forth, and then I'll have directional setup and everything like that for DLS for LS Video 4. I'm gonna do is I'll turn wireframe back on in this view. Because preferably I like to use this view. Works a little better for me. And we'll go from there. What I will do is I'm gonna select both at the same time. I'm gonna see if I can just from me looking at it I did mess up. Flip the LEDs around, so just need to flip that back, do that. Now I'll select it. Maybe like this. Actually jump to a top view because it'll be a little easier. I'm just gonna do the steady burn ones. Get them out of the way. If I can do it at the same time. Makes my life easy. Do that. And we will and do all these. Alright. So once we got these done, I will set the dummy to be on this side. Unfortunately, it is blue red, so I'm not gonna like that. You know, or you know. Trying to figure out where I'm looking at on here. Okay, there, basically, okay. I'll set it over here, and then, you know, unfortunately, it's just gonna have the red as a reflection for the lights and everything like that, but it is what it is. The guy knows how it's gonna be set up, and he's fine with it, so that's okay. If I had more sirens, I'd definitely give this one its own, but I do not on this build. Same thing as, you know, the headlights, the tail lights, everything like that. I'm just gonna make a copy. This one's gonna be siren 3. And with this copy, I'm gonna make the dummy. Dummy should be right in the middle of them, which I will then do the same thing as I did with the other ones, and do that. What I'm actually going to do as well is create a second one. Just name it Siren for right now. And we will select these, drag them into here. And then this one's just a template, so I can drag it around, copy it, and make my life a little easier. And have to just scale down every single way I do. Now this one, we'll jump to a front view after autosaves, and I'm actually going to save that after this, just be on the safe side. I'm not going to go over to where I want it. So like this, I'm just going to drag it right here. I'm going to look how the light bar is set up. I'm going to drag down just a little bit, because it does sit a little high. Then from there, that one's done. What I'll do is I will unselect that, jump into a side view, actually drag my one that I'll use to make all the other ones down just a little bit as well. Now I'll select that. So this is done. That's where I want it. What I'm gonna do is reset to parent, unselect, turn it off. Now I'm gonna do both the whites. We'll do the whites next. Little light bar, super easy. Select, deselect first, make sure you don't grab anything else, and just go down the line. Since I made this as a copy, I'll take and select it, unselect all that. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to drag it to about right there. Copy. That's going to grab from that one, so I'll just come over and make it about equal. And then I'll take and turn that one off. These will be my two sirens for my black and white. And the whites we set as 4 and 5. And I'll just set it like that, and that'll be perfect. Actually, I'm going to flip it around, just depending on how it is. I like to work from, you know, left to right. Depends on how you want to do it. You do it any other way. You don't have to exactly do it how I do it. It's just how I do it. It's how I mapped it. You know, starting from left, going down to right, on the side of the light bar. And then once I've actually turned this on to see where it's at, I'm actually a little more in the middle of the light, so we don't have any issues with being able to see the dummy and all that. The same thing I will do fast for this one, even though I haven't kept the light bar apart on that side, but we'll get that one done. Done here, make sure I know which one I have selected, do that, boom, that's done. Disable this, I'm gonna hurry and cut this set apart, and we'll continue to the light bar. Now we're done with all the wigwags, so we'll just seal them over. We're technically not done with them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them all on, turn everything else I don't need off, I'm going to select them, and then just right click, go down to mapping, edit UV map, and I just copy what I have here. So you want to channel 1, keep old mapping, because you don't really need to generate new mapping. This one, from world Y or XYZ, almost said that backwards. And then just any view, any of these views you can change by going up here, just UV map, and then here. And then depending on the texture, if you use the same light bar as I am, this is what this will look like, and you just go through and adjust. This one's gonna have multiple things, so you actually have to select the whole thing, go into edit mode, and then I'm just gonna kick it to full screen. Select, and then we're gonna drag down to be in the white area, drag more down to be in the white area. That one's done. Come up here, drag this down. Just line it up as close as you can get. It doesn't have to be perfect. Same thing down here. And then if you look at it, it should be good. These are low LEDs, so if you undo those where it has more of a 3D model, then you can see it. And then you just go from there. A little bit of a red to it, so I'm just going to double confirm I don't have anything left in the red, because sometimes, you miss poly or something like that. And you'll have something that's in but I don't, so it should be fine. Same thing, since I have them in the dummy, I'm just going to hit reset to parent. I'll kick it to where the dummies are set. And we're done with these ones, and on to the next one. Next one's going to be the outer flashing light. And what I'll do is I'll do the blue first, because it's a lower number on the sirens. Simple as that. We're done cutting. I kind of do it fast, so if you keep up, not just pause the video, just keep watching it back. It'd be the easiest way. Just the biggest thing is make sure it pivots off. That's all I'll say. Make sure it pivots off, because when you're gonna scale down these lights with the properties, the pivot will mess that up. And I don't know what it is, but it always does. So you gotta turn pivot off, and then even with rotating them, you have pivot on. It changes things. It doesn't rotate. Like I think when you have pivot on, it rotates from the center all the time, not up here, or it rotates, wonky. In my opinion, I could be, totally wrong on this. Just how I view it. So I got 2. I don't know what my last one is, so it'll be 6. 2 and 6. 2 and 6. 2 is gonna be the blue. 6 is gonna be the red. Simple as that. Those ones are done. I did not reset them to the parent, so I'll do that right now. Same thing, select, reset parent. You have any chance of, when you reset it to parent and the whole light moves, then all you gotta do is go into this little drop down menu up here, keep object, and make sure that's on, and you should be set. Make sure, same settings as I have right here. And autosave kills us again. So these are done. I'm gonna just do this. I'll compound it, do it all at once. You can compound it as you go. I'm just not risking, somehow breaking something. I'm just gonna hang save it on my side, and we will continue to cut this light bar apart. I'm gonna do blue side again. I'm gonna do the side now. So I'm gonna do 2 different things here. I'm gonna cut this fully apart, then I'll go back and cut the white out on each of these. So that's done. We're gonna hand do the other side, and then we'll come back and cut the white out both. And then all we gotta do is the back side, and I'll have to edit textures, unfortunately. So do a step by step on how to do that, and the process on it, because we have to do some brake lights for the rear end of the vehicle on the light bar. And so you need to change the opacity on the texture so it's more transparent, or it'll be blinding when the brake lights go down. Or actually, I don't have to because we're gonna do it to VLS. It's already set up 3 VLS in this vehicle. I was thinking 5M, so I thought I'd have to connect it to the brake lights, but no, I don't have to. Never mind. I have to mess with textures. Alright, to make my life easier, I'm just gonna remove some dummies over into place, set it up, and then I'll come back and cut out the white, and then use the same dummy for the white. Got that one done. We're gonna take this other one all the way over to the other side, and about same as that one. Turn that off. Bottom one's gonna be number 1, and then we have number 7. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 1 and 7. Yep. I'll just drag this down to number 1. Drag this down to number 7. And we will continue through cutting lights apart. That is so much fun to do. So if these, I'm gonna do a different solution to these ones, just to show. So this separator, cool. Right click separate only certain ones. Super fancy, super nice. Makes life a little easier depending on what it is. I will hurry and do not delete. I'm used to using it to delete stuff, so. Almost did it again. Now off to this side, just basically the same thing. What I'm going to do, select it all, deselect it all, try to make my life a little easier, which these ones aren't selected. And so I will do this, do that, boom. Now I don't have to go there and select, and waste life doing that. So now I got the alley lights done. Simple as that is. I'm going to take and copy the dummies, which I just did not copy on, so I deselected it. Yeah, I tried to detach it, which it didn't do, so we're good. Alright, we got those done. Jump back in here, look. So it's passenger side. Be 8 and 9, so passenger side is what I started with, number 1, so 8 and 9. As simple as it is. Do this. And those are done. So now we can select all the lights, deselect the dummies. And now with these ones, it's a little different because these ones are facing sideways. They're not facing frontwards or backwards. And so how I found to do it, backside. And I can't remember who I've seen to do this. I don't know if it was Dirty Dan or Dan with Dan or there's somebody. It's been a while though. What you do is you select it, you look at top view, side view, but on the back view with the y-axis only on, you modify, then rotate, and then if I'm not mistaken, it's -90 for this one. You want to make sure this thing's facing inwards, and then this side is going to be 90, so it faces like that, so I'll turn it off so you can see. So like that, it's supposed to look like that. This one facing down, facing out, facing out. If it faces in, then it's going to flash inwards. If it faces out, then it's going to flash outwards. That's how I do it. So you might just, watch the video a couple times, make sure and everything. Just, biggest thing, the y-axis, back view, and then pivots off. And that is done, so I will continue on to the next one, but I'm going to hurry and save it first. I do not want to go back and redo this. So now since these are all amber, I'm going to select it all, map again. Just basic UV map like I explained earlier. Go into material, full screen this, and all this needs to go to amber. Just like that, should be set, all amber, just like that. So we're good. Now we're gonna jump back to this and I'll make 6 sirens for all the amber lights. Same thing, start from, left to right. So I'm gonna start left and end right. I'm just gonna do one sign at a time so then I know which one's which. Do it however you want it, whatever's faster, this is how I'm gonna do it. Alright, so now all these are done and checked out. So okay, we'll hurry set up some dummies for these and get them in place. So we're done over with these. And we don't have to come back to it. It's as simple as these three are. How they're set up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy, take and drag sideways, and on this side, if I turn these on, I'll just map them away like that. That'll be the dummies for this side, that's dummies for this side, all done. I don't need the template one anymore, so I'll delete it, and I will go into putting the other set apart in 1 second after I move all these and get these into place. Perfect. All the lights are completed on this thing. I'm just gonna save. We will LOD, and then I'll finish this video, and I'll make some more. I thought to do plate lights, push bar lights, and other stuff. So just make another video for probably push bar lights. Shouldn't take as long as the light bar does, and then the plate lights, and then we'll move on to interior stuff and go from there. I will hurry and get all my CERN. So we're gonna start with 11, going down to 16. But I have to actually hurry and grab these two. This should be the outer ones. Need to hurry and copy these ones. So just want to make sure everything's turned on for both. And I copy, and then these ones will be changed back to red to be connected to be for the bright lights. Since they're done with that, I will start here. Starting from 10 ending on 16. Not good. Starting at 11 down to 16. Okay. Now we're good. Okay. So, unselect everything with rear facing lights. You want to turn on X, Y, rotate them on the top view 180 so they face like this. Where the arrow goes like this and should point backwards like that. Now be facing backwards so those work properly. Done with those. I'm gonna hurry set up the reverse lights here fast. Get them out of the way, get them connected, done all that, and then I'll hurry and scale everything down, LOD it, and we'll be done with at least the light bar. We want. Alright, we have to do a low power cruise, so I'll have to do that. That's basically taking the whole light bar and connecting all, which won't be hard to do because I'll just copy everything. I'm pretty sure it's all gonna be same colors anyway, so we should be fine. And then go from there, but then I'll have to edit textures for that one because that one will have to be transparent a little more so it's lowered and made as bright. That one won't be hard to do. I'm going to take this dummy back to the middle, rotate 180, so it's facing backwards. These we want to edit UV. I'm gonna redo that because I have everything else still selected on there, so we don't mess anything up. And all this is going back to red, so we will basically just reverse what we started. Simple as that. Those are done, completed, and now I can. What I'm gonna do actually is rest this, and as terrible as it sounds, I'm going to save. Be on the safe side. I'm gonna select the whole light bar, copy, boom. And unfortunately it copies everything. I'm gonna take it and select all of this. Just right now, that's what I just had all. I'm gonna do all of this fantastic funness, so I'm actually make my life 10 times easier by killing the computer. Do that. I think the only ones I don't need is the alley lights. And those are 8, 9. Real plate. Which I don't need 10 either. So I'm going to go with that. But other than that, I'm going to do that. I'll do it a different way actually. I have the dummy button up here. Split all these so I don't lose or delete. You know, something stupid like that. All those are my red and yellow lights. These are all the ones I have to connect. Which I have to go through and make the low power mode texture, which I'll probably do in a different video because this one's already running probably way too long. It needs to be. Simple as that. And we'll find where we're sitting out with this. New one. Okay, hold on. No, it's not. Now I am completely lost if I actually just copied L1. Oh, it's still up. Okay, good. Now if I miss it, they'll fix it later on. Alright, the low power mode 1 is done. I believe that is 17, which is 1.5 million sirens for one vehicle. That has hardly any lights on it, in my opinion. I already messed up by trying to compound it when I shouldn't be compounding. I'm gonna save just in case it crashes. Ooh, your bother likes to crash. Alright, with this dummy now, I'm gonna jump into. And it crashed. Told ya! Told ya! Oh, at least I caught that. Save beforehand. Maybe go back to this file where we saved this guy. And I will select this in top view. I'm gonna go back to the center. Go back. And what will happen? Well, I will disable emissives on this one, so it doesn't have anything because it's only one light. More just there because the guy wanted it there. And I did the same fucking thing. I did it the other way because I want to crash. Now with all of this done, I'm actually going to not LOD this just yet because I'm not going to put textures on those to a different lighter texture, which I'm going to have to set up. It's going to be a blast to do. I will continue down this line of fantasticness to enable all the lights for this. And this dummy, I'm going to use Ski. I'm going to select all these, just run through them all fast, make sure I didn't miss any. Don't have any issues. Reset to parent again. And a couple did indeed yank to their parents like they're supposed to, so we're good there. And just select all again, and then scale by 0.1. So you have that basically 0.1 on each of these. Hit apply. My first one, number 3, I'm gonna start, and I'm just gonna compound and go. And I already explained all this with the headlights, just same stuff as we did earlier. You just follow along, back and forth. But I'm going to just try to get through this and get this video over because it's going to take a million years to render after I go through and delete the music I'm listening to. Hi. Lightbar is completely done. So I will undo that. Put a siren glass into here. And before I select anything, I'm actually hide all. Select both of these. And I'm going to reset these to world. Make sure I don't have any sirens selected. If you do not have these selected to world after you're done rotating them, sometimes when you put things like, if you set them as an extra, like the light bar as an extra, then it'd just be basically like extra underscore 1. That's how you do extras and everything like that. I'll show that in a different video as well. You'll have issues where the lights won't show up, or they'll show up all broken. You'll be like, oh, I messed up. But it's actually because it's not reset to world for some reason. I don't understand it, but it does it. And so I'll just warn you on that. And from that, the light bar is completed on the vehicle. And yes, it does look a little weird, but from IRL, that's where it sits on the charger from the department that I'm building the vehicle off of. Guess it looks a little weird, but oh, it look weird, I guess. We will continue on after this with the next piece of things to be on this said vehicle. Now just confirm. I have this set up perfectly, which I do. What they use is a different version of the Enforce, but that's the only one that's out, so this is one that's being used. And yeah, just gonna save one last time. That's gonna be the video for setting up the light bar.